Hello. Welcome to Educators with Oil podcast. I am your hostess, Ronette Branham, here to offer biblical strategies for effective teaching. I am, as always, glad that you are here today. I'm glad that you have tuned in, whether you watch later or you're live with me now. I am just thrilled that to bring to you my gifts. I'm thrilled to know what my calling is and that I'm here to serve. And that's what we're here to do. So today we're talking about uh, thriving in adverse situations, thriving in the classroom, thrive anyway, no matter what it is that you're going through. We want to thrive. And why is it important to thrive? What does that mean as opposed to surviving? Some of us are just surviving where we are. We're surviving in an environment. We're surviving in circumstances. Surviving, I don't think that brings you joy. Surviving, thriving, that's where the joy comes, when the passion comes in. That's when the uh your blood is flowing and you are innovative and you have ideas, and you're a teacher, so you want to thrive in the classroom, because as opposed to striving surviving, whatever we do has affects our students directly. Not, some things are indirectly affected, but our students, that what they're there for, to be educated, that is affected immediately by our attitudes. If we are thriving, if we are surviving, you can tell the difference between a teacher who's surviving. They're making it. You see the joy has left their face. Their face, they you don't even see a glow. But when we're thriving, yesterday and today was kind of different for me. And it was crazy because when I left school before the Thanksgiving break, I was surviving that day. I was surviving. What I do, I try to come in new every day. I see what happened. I evaluate. I assess. I think about what I've done. What could I have done better? What did I do great? Every day, and then I come back the next day, try to figure it out. I come in early with that plan already in my head. I plan what I'm gonna do. Okay, that was that great. Should I do this? Okay, we didn't do enough writing yesterday, so we're gonna write today. Today we did it. It was a struggle. Oh my goodness. Yesterday I felt like these students need to write a little bit more, right? They need to write a whole lot more, but they're not there. So I needed them to write some more, make some sentences. We went over some words, long E words. We went over some words and we had to know what they were and all that. And then I was ready to go. Like, okay, this is what I found out yesterday. Even though yesterday I was on top of the world. It was like I was renewed when I went in yesterday. I was thriving, as opposed to last Wednesday before the holiday. I was surviving. I was making it, because it was like, when I say adverse situations, we have situations in our classrooms, in our lives, that affect how we live, how we show up. Are we showing up our best selves? And because sometimes we let things seep in, we're not showing up our best selves, but we want to. We're happier when we're thriving. We're happier when things are going as planned, when we're our best self. Even if things don't go as planned, we still can um, find answers better if we're in a better space, right? So, why is it important to survive in challenging environments? We have as teachers, we have students who are well below the grade level, and we have to teach on grade level. So just say I teach second grade. I say it all the time. Teach second grade. If I have students who are pre-K level, kindergarten, low first grade, that's going to affect how I teach, what I do in my classroom. When I'm trying to teach them subject and predicate, let's get these sentences together. Let's get these paragraphs. Who or what did something and what did they do? we're past that. We should be past verbs and nouns, and we should be having juicy sentences. I remember when I taught preschool, we talked about juicy words, words that we learn. But no, we should have juicy sentences with adjectives, adverbs in our sentences. We have sentences that are moving, you know, and besides, I am happy. Like, come on now, we should be writing past that. So, but at the same time, we have students who are well below the grade level who may not even know their letters. So that's a challenging situation. We have directives from people who you're like, this is not making sense what you're telling me to do. Come on, let's do something a little bit better. Can we? You feel like sometimes you have all the common sense, whether you do or you don't. We know what we know. We don't know what other people know. So this is some things that happen to negatively affect how we react in our classrooms, and that stuff shows in our lessons and how we execute our lessons. We don't want to be walking around in negative spaces, and sometimes we have what other we have low morale. I know sometimes we get sucked into stuff because of situations, and then we end up talking to somebody, and then they're talking to somebody. I found out something today where it was so funny because I was walking around feeling like morale was way low, right? Had a right to be. Then I spoke to somebody at the end of the day, because sometimes we feel like we are alone in this thing. We don't know who else is seeing what we're seeing or feeling what we're feeling or knowing what we know. And then I just stopped to talk to a lady on the way out the door. I mean, I thought, I'm like, people are frustrated with me, right? That's what I'm thinking. People are frustrated with me because I'm asking questions. All I'm doing is asking questions. How could you have a problem with me? Just answer the question. That's all you got to do. No, you don't have to meet with me to answer a question. I sent you an email. You send me an email back with the answer, right? So I'm thinking like, okay, these people are like, this girl, this lady, she needs to go sit down somewhere because she's too much. I'm not. So I spoke with another lady. Mind you, I'm thinking I'm in this alone, or I'm going through this alone. So she's going through it alone at the same time, the same exact thing. So I stopped her, asked her a question. Wait, did I miss a meeting or something? So I'm trying to understand why these people don't want to answer me or they're acting like this, right? She was like, no, because this sits in that, right? And so, wait, what? You know the same thing that I know? You're going through the same thing. You had to resolve it or trying to resolve it the same way I'm resolving it. You know how good I felt at the end of the day knowing that I'm not alone? That loneliness, feeling of being alone, not loneliness, the feeling of being alone causes something with morale and how you react to things and how you perceive things and how you execute your lessons in the classroom. If I feel like I'm alone, then I go in my class. I tell people all the time, I go in my classroom and shut the door. I shut the door and I work because it feels like things are not working. So I don't like that feeling. Yesterday I was up there. When I say thriving, me and my students were on it. We were talking about how we felt, what happened over the weekend, how our Thanksgiving breaks were. We got together, we learned some words, we spelled some things. We were excited. I had small groups students were working and learning and they were excited. The students that I didn't work with in small group, they were looking sad, looking at me like, when is it going to be my turn? So I had to go through that with them and then work with them today. It just was, let's get this going, because I was feeling well. I was feeling good because I was doing what I'm called to do. So again, some of the challenges that we face in our environment, that hinder our work is students who are well below grade level, different issues going on in the school, lack of material, or you feel like you're lacking material, you feel like you don't have the support, find out you can have the support in your school. You start building relationships, And the relationships don't all always have to be. Sometimes they're built on something negative that you're going through together, but they don't always have to be. So think about that, right? And you could, from that, you can build a relationship, build a strong relationship. Now, okay, we're going through this. Let's work on this together. Let's help each other. What are you doing for this situation? How are you uh building this lesson up? What can you do? I don't have this. Do you have that? Things like that. um Attitudes. It's sometimes it's hard to beat attitudes. you know you One of my mentors, one of my coaches, he's talking about low vibrations, and how things, when you're not walking in love and you're not surrounded by love, the things that happen, and you start seeing things negatively, always because of the vibration that you're on. And he's talking about the season that we're in, this Christmas season, whether you celebrate Christmas or not, starting November to January 2nd, maybe. The Everybody's helping, everybody's walking in love, everybody's doing something for somebody else, and you want to share, you want to give. And that's a spirit that flows during this time. And so that is something that happens in our work environments, where we go through times when everybody's happy, everybody's giving, everybody's loving. And then there are times when we are not. Everybody's struggling. A lot of people are, and that spirit starts flowing through. So we want to get to the place where we're thriving, and then that rubs off on people. That rubs off on our students. That rubs off on people we're around when you're in that cheery, you know, thriving moment. So what has to happen is you have to have these mindset shifts. And how do we have mindset shifts in the midst of trials? Let's just call them trials. That mindset shift that has to, that helps us maintain our creativity and our focus. One thing I know is, just say we have limited resources. Let's work on what we do have. Let's sit down maybe one day and sit down and find things that we can use to make our lessons better. Look and find. I know Chat GPT, man. If you don't know anything about Chat GPT, and there's others also, where you can find material, you can find things, that will tell you, okay, how about you build this with your students? How about, you're talking about seeds and planting? Use these seeds. Let's grow this. Get together with your science kids and see what else you can do with the soil, with the landscaping, whatever it is that you're trying to do for social studies, science, and building. You're talking about homes, different homes. How about you make little homes? You draw homes for different areas. A lot of my students are from Guatemala. Some are from I don't know, countries, Honduras and things like that. So let's see, what do the houses look like there as opposed to Trenton? Let's build houses. We have so many what do you call it? Straws and popsicle sticks and things like that. You can try to be innovative, make learning fun, because what you do in your attitude, it impacts your students so strongly and directly. If you are thriving, you're going to bring energy and passion and innovation to the classroom. Now, if you are just surviving, you might bring that discouragement and stress right to your students. It's going to affect your students. We might not know it. And different things that we know we should do earlier on in the day. I tried to do social studies during my social studies time today. I think I was really supposed to be doing science, but I wasn't prepared. Me and some students stayed in the classroom at lunchtime preparing some things for science. And then I was like, oh, I didn't do that right. I packed things for 5 desks, for 5 groups, but each group is supposed to have everything that we packed. And I said, oh. So we did social studies. It was at the end of the day after testing. That was one of the hardest lessons, because there were a few students who were listening, who were ready to pay attention. Some students weren't. So they were ready to go. It was the end of the day. So you have to know when to present certain lessons, because the students are tired at the end of the day. I know that's when we have our social studies or science or whatever, but it's not going to work. It's almost 3 o'clock. So that can help you also with what we're going to do with that thriving. thrive earlier in the day. Even though we have to be there till 3, still do more energetic things earlier on, at least by 2 o'clock, before 2:30, right? Um, and then you want to thrive because you help sustain your purpose and your longevity, right? If I feel like I'm just surviving, I'm discouraged, I'm ready to go, I don't know if I can make it another year, that kind of stuff. I don't know if I can make it another 2 years. I am at the point for real where I'm seeing that you start questioning your calling, but if you're thriving, that fosters joy and fulfillment, and it makes it easier to navigate your challenges, whatever your challenges are. It makes it easier, you know just knowing that um you are able to conquer things. You feeling like you're able to conquer any challenge that comes your way. That I don't know about you, but when I'm feeling like hopeless about a situation, I can't even pretend. No, I can't pretend, but I can't pretend for too long. I'm like, this is dumb. That kind of stuff. And then also thriving helps with, again, your creativity and your adaptability. You can adapt to a situation faster if you feel like you're thriving and you're at the top of your game and you got it all together. You are making it, right? You feel better. It enables you to think outside of the box and create innovative lesson plans and adapt to diverse students' needs. Like I said, I have second graders who are preschool, kindergarten, first grade, second graders in second grade, and I'm not a special ed teacher. So just think about that. If I am thriving, I'm more creative. I can find what to do. I can call these small groups together, the ones who need to learn their letters. I can put them together and I can give them this. I found some things online that I can do, some games, helps learn their letters. I mean, I can't teach you your letters right now. We go through that every single day, but right now, I can't give you anything to write because you need to know your letters. So what am I going to do? I'm going to figure it out. Oh, I have a fun game for you right there on Starfall, right? You can learn your letters and songs and everything. Okay, you know your letters and yourselves. Well, let's put some words together. That's on Starfall. I have papers. We come together, sit in a small group, and we can work on that stuff, right? That's just something that we can do. But at the same time, how does me thriving, what's the opposite of like a negative environment? How does that affect my execution of my lessons, my creativity, and the morale of my of our school? I say of my classroom, but it does affect your classroom. Sometimes you could mask it with your students and you could push through. Because when I shut my door, I'm like, the world out there, that's it. The world is out there, right? So just say you have disruptions of your lesson plan, of your plans, not your lesson planning, but of what's happening. Like you don't have the support you need, right? You have to spend extra time finding material when you just want to come in and just knock it out, or because that or you might have reduced effectiveness with overcrowded classrooms. We have overcrowded classrooms. I'm seeing people. I mean, I know my classroom I has too many students, but or inefficient technology. How about a month ago, couple, I don't know how long ago now, a few weeks, a month or more ago, I didn't have internet for a while. If I had it, it was like sporadic, and then as soon as I clicked something, it was gone. That affected how I worked, how I operate. That affected my mindset. Affected my uh I did have to be more creative. I did have to be more creative because I had to figure it out. I had to say, okay, no, now everything is paper. Let's get it. Let me pull this stuff out. This is what we're gonna do. I had to go old school, drawings and things like I'm drawing pictures on the board, things like that. So it's hard to deliver, and it can result in lower engagement and miss learning objectives because you don't have everything that you need. And it could surviving could affect your creativity again. Negative environments, micromanaging, lack of autonomy, those things. I don't have that, per se, that micromanagement, but sometimes the environment, just because of things that we're going through. So it could cause increased fatigue and morale, toxic, unsupportive environments. So what are we going to do? We don't want to have negative environments. We don't want to. That's going to limit our collaboration, because this is what I do. I don't want to talk to you when I'm in this mode where I think things are just in that space, right? So I don't want to talk. I'm not going to collaborate with you. But it's better to collaborate with more people. So we got to get to that point where we change our mindset and think about gratitude, think about the love that we have, just explore, what can I do with what I have, right? Trust in the provision that God has for us. He's going to provide. So let's figure it out. Well, Lord, what are we going to do? What am I going to do? How can I make this work? I promise you, if you think about it, you can find it, right? You can find an answer, because you have the answer in you. All you have to do is sit back instead of being frustrated. Frustration does something like it tightens you up. It's like having a blocked artery or something. I know about people having some kind of stenosis, where you have stenosis with your lungs, with your heart, with some kind of breathing or something, where the passageways are smaller. You don't get enough air. You don't get enough blood flow. And that's how, when you're stifled with what you have to do in your classroom, that can feel like that. Like, there's not enough blood flow. I don't have everything that I need. So some things that you could do is build strong relationships, right? If you build strong relationships with your coworkers, with your students, you can the students will respond better, right? They like respectful and supportive environments. That Having that and having somebody to talk to, collaborate with, that will make you feel like the load is not so heavy, right? You'll feel happier when you have help. I know I do. I don't know about you, but I do. Another thing you can do is adjust and simplify. Why that works is, when we have resources or time is scarce, let's focus on what we actually need, so we won't feel overwhelmed. Let's focus on, what do I need for this lesson only. I don't have to think about tomorrow. I don't have to think about the next day. Think about what's happening right now. What do I need for this lesson? Right? This is math. Do I need any manipulatives? Some people need manipulatives. Some people don't. Do I need it? Do I need some paper? Do I need some worksheets? Do I need make sure everything that I have to pull from online is already opened up and I just can click. Make it easier, make it simpler, where you don't have to go through all these transitions while you have your students in front of you. That will make it easier. Another thing is this, I started to say it and then I changed it. Anchor yourself in gratitude. Why does that work? Because gratitude helps to shift the focus from whatever the obstacle is, to whatever the blessing is. I'm grateful because I'm able to teach. I'm able to help somebody learn something. We should be grateful for that, because we say that's our calling. We say that's a gift. And then we're using our gifts, we're using our calling. That's going to improve our mental resilience, because we know that everything that we have, and we're focusing on that. What did God give us to do what we can do? He gave us a lot. And I know nobody could tell me that teaching is a gift, because you've seen some people teach. I remember I had somebody come into my classroom and they asked me for something. I couldn't do it because I was in the middle of lesson. They was like, I got it. I got it. Let me teach it, right? It was so funny because they didn't have it. They caused more problems than if I would have just told everybody to stop and sit and wait, right? They're like, go ahead, do that, right? No, I can't. Okay, so that's a gift. Not everybody can do it. I don't care if they did it. That doesn't mean they were great at it. You teach with ease. Teach with ease. Be confident in that. Thank God for that gift, because it's a gift. It's a talent. We have to hone on our skills. We have to learn some things. But at the same time, we got to be thankful for that. I don't know if Adrian's still here. Hi, Adrian. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. But we know that we have a gift. So just be grateful for that. That's something that I don't care what you say, knowing that you have a gift and you're walking in it, that's enough right there to thrive, right? Another thing that we can do is celebrate. I say this all the time, celebrate those small wins. Students come in, I say all shapes and sizes, different abilities, different challenges. Students come in, like I said, I have a wide range of uh, what the students can and cannot do, of where they're performing. I have preschoolers and second graders. I have first graders and kindergarten. I have it all in one class, well, two classes, but I have it. I could put together on 10 fingers the students who are ready, can go with all this second grade work. So we come with that. So celebrate the small wins. I told you last week where a little boy, every day I say good morning to every student. And he just looking at me, and he's like, good morning. And he's like, I have to say buenos dias. Then he's like, buenos dias. Then I say, how are you? He's like, how are you? He just looking in my face. But then after, right in November, here he is. I said, buenos dias. I said, go. I said, how are you? He said, bien. I was in heaven because that was a small win. He doesn't understand what I'm saying. And he took that. It took him 2 months to get that. But that was great. I'm working with students with putting together CVC words. They're doing words that just have one syllable, and they're writing these words, and I am excited. That's a win because they didn't come in with that. So that as they're learning the letters and the sounds, we're winning. And you thrive with that. That's something to thrive on. That's something to tailor your teacher. That is tailor your teaching to reach each person. And so as you do that, you're going to get small wins, right? Celebrate the growth of each child. It's just that sometimes when the range is so wide, you have to make smaller and smaller groups, many groups. And that is like a challenge. So if you sit and relax and the blood is flowing, take a walk, you can figure it out. And you say, well, what do I need to do? Think about, assess every day and say, what could I do? Right? Because we know burnout is real. We know, low morale is real, right? So what causes that and how do we avoid it? By thriving and by knowing, being grateful for where you are, what you have, counting small wins, all of that, also, we know God, right? We do, right? So how about replenish yourself spiritually? That is something that we can do. Replenish yourself, and emotionally, because it's easy to break down real fast. If you're stressed out, you start talking to people. I did it twice in 1 week's time. It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's wild. I don't know how to say it. Where I was talking to someone, I went to ask 2 people questions, and one last week and one today. And I was like, oh, wait, I just came to ask you one thing. And I got all emotional, but that's because of stress. I'm trying to figure it out. Now I'm getting all into my feelings like, oh, Lord. And that person was like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I just wait. No, I'm not. But it was just stress, just coming down. Really, you say for no reason, but it just all of a sudden. So then I had to get myself together and say, no, I didn't come here to cry. I have anything to cry about, right? But that's stress. So we gotta relax. We gotta exercise. We got to start our day out with positive affirmations, with scriptures, with prayer, and let everything that we start out in the morning, make everything specific. Make everything specific. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? If this comes up, what am I going to do? Help me, God. Help me, my own intellect to know what to do in every situation. Okay, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to plan for the day. I'm going to get all my material that I need, right? I know I'm going to work with this group, these two groups today. This is what I'm going to work on. Make sure I have all the material that I need, right? That is something emotionally because you're prepared for what you need, right? And then you have to refuel. You have to refuel because that enables you to serve with energy and with joy. So take some breaks, take some time to do what it is that you need to do. Don't I can't say don't stress. Sometimes you got to sit back and say, this is bothering me. Yes, I understand this is bothering me. What am I going to do about it? Okay. Now, then you pray about it and be specific about your prayers. Be specific about your requests, because I want to go back to the Bible. I have different, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as if working for the Lord and not as for human masters. Sometimes we get caught up. They want this and they want that from us. No, think about I'm doing this because this is my calling. God called me to do this. This is where my gift is at. I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it. Okay, what do I need to do? How am I going to break free? The Bible tells me if anyone lacks wisdom, you should ask God who gives it generously without finding fault. It's going to be given to you. Think about that. Like that's how you refuse spiritually, replenish spiritually and emotionally. Sometimes we got to stretch. Sometimes we're not even stretching. I know I found out that stretching does something. Like a lot of times we're not stretching. We need to stretch every day. That helps loosen up some things. We just walking around tight. Go get a massage. Go to the spa. They have spas cheap. You can go to a spa for $55. There's some who ran up their prices during the pandemic because everybody needed to de-stress, right? But there are still some that are regular prices, $55. I know you can go not too far from me where you can go and then you can get that go to those saunas. Go to those ice rooms, get those massages. That is something. And then you got to lean on the strength of God because he gives us strength. We just got to ask for it. Don't worry about it. He said he's going to strengthen us. And then sometimes we got to rest. We're so busy going. Sometimes we have to rest. You absolutely have to rest. We can't just keep on going without taking time, right? So remember, we're going to embrace gratitude daily, practice gratitude strategies, practices, reflecting on small successes. That's one of the most things. Why are we doing what we're doing? Stop being stressed out because what somebody said. Because I know I do it. Somebody will say something to me. My grandson says to me all the time, he says, so you probably don't like that I say this, but he says somebody blew his high. And he says, I don't have to be high like from smoking or something like that. He's like, he's just natural high. He's excited about something that's happening, and then somebody come and blow that, And so we can't let people just come blow our high. We're walking in gratitude and and thankfulness and excitement for what we're going to do and joy and passion for our job. And here comes somebody with this thing they're telling us, and it's so easy. It don't take much for me. And then I have to go by myself and get myself together. Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about this. Because every day you see me coming, I got it new. You may not can't tell, but I can tell. I might be stressed out today and I come in tomorrow. I'm new. I'm different. I'm not even that anymore because I can't stay like that. That's just something I just can't stay. I just can't. You try not to. You try to, thrive every single day. So we gotta walk in that gratitude. Remember, we can encourage. How about you encourage somebody? That'll make you feel better. When you encourage somebody, compliment somebody, say you got this, or tell me something about what you're planning with your students. If you ask a teacher about what they're doing with their students and they're actually doing things with their students, that you can see their light start to shine, the light starting to brighten, just by asking somebody, what do you have going on right now? People love that. People like for you to ask them about themselves. Hey, hi Vera, thanks for tuning in. Right? Ask somebody about what they have going on. That you listening to them and you watching their face light up, that's going to make you feel better. I promise you. I promise you. Just try it. Try it. Like today, how are you doing right now? What do you have going on that is going to make you feel good? That is making you feel good. What is driving you right now? That's a legitimate question, right? What is happening in your life right now that is making you feel good? Me asking you that is making you feel better. Whoever's tuning in, if you ask somebody about themselves and what they're doing, what they have going on, how are they teaching their students today, what have their students learned, what did they try that worked for their students, watch their face light up. I promise you their face is going to light up. You're going to see them stand a little taller. You're going to see just their face brighten. I promise you. And then how you'll feel by hearing it. That is something that is a mindset shift. When I say walking in sadness, walking in depression, walking in stressful environments, we have to get out. A mindset shift is how are we going to get out of this? Figuring it out. Knowing that I have to walk in joy, knowing that I have to walk in love, knowing that I have to walk in gratitude. That's changing my focus. That's changing how I think. The more you do it, the better you'll feel. The way that it's going to change how you walk daily at work. You're going to walk differently. Somebody's walking in there calling, you're going to walk differently. Everything hits different when you know you're doing what you're called to do. Things hit different. If somebody says hi to me right now, 2 people said hi to me, right, while I'm here, that hit different because I'm loving what I'm doing right now. That is different than if you see me in the street and say hi to me, right? Because I might just be going to the store. That's not a gift or a calling. A gift or a calling is my voice. That's my gift. I don't care if I'm your cup of tea or not. I know that's my gift. Me talking to my students, teaching my students, that's my gift. So if somebody comes into me saying, I love having you as my teacher, that's going to hit different. That's going to hit different than if it's somebody saying, oh, I remember having her as a friend or whatever. It's not the same thing because we're not in that right now. We're not in that together. But when I'm walking in my calling, man, you say something about me doing that, that's going to hit differently. So ask somebody about themselves, what they're doing, right? Just know that you are called to do what you're calling, right? Another thing we could do, start a journal. I have this journal that I'm working on. I did it the other day, a few weeks ago, where I posted it on my Facebook group, where it has like journal entries where you can just say, what happened in school today? What did I learn? What am I going to do again tomorrow? What will I not do? What would I change? Then what about my whole life on another page? What happened today in my life in general, overall, that was good, that was needs work, that was lacking, right? And then for the week, journal that. Journal say, this week I did this, that, and the other, but next week I'm going to work on staying positive. Next week I'm going to work on my gratitude. Next week I'm going to work on complimenting myself every single day. Next week I'm going to work on complimenting others or asking people about themselves. What are they doing? Something that you can see that you can change. Journal that and then find an action point for it. What am I going to do? Journal what was great, what need work, and then an action point for it. That is just something. Don't forget to always rely on your support system. We all got a support system, whether we know it or not, whether we feel it or not. We all have some support. At your job, you have support. You have coworkers who you can talk to about the job. This is what I need. Can you help me? Can you show me? If you don't, I tell you, you can go online and Google anything. I found a Facebook post that I had some years ago. I don't know how long ago. It could have been 10, 9, 8, something like that. A long time ago. I had on my Facebook that I loved YouTube. That's when you could go to YouTube and learn how to do anything. I don't care if it says, how do you unscrew a light bulb when the bulb broke. Like, you can Google it and it'll tell you. I promise you. That's how you can find anything. Now I got Chat GPT, so I don't even go to Google. I don't even go to YouTube for that anymore. So find a support group. You got a support group and people that you work with, right? So do that. That mindset shift is something else. So build strong relationships. Again, let me go back. Let me see if I can post that again. These up here. Build strong relationships. Why it works? Because connection is foundational. Students respond better to educators they trust and respect, and supportive colleagues can help lighten the load. If you have supportive colleagues, it's going to help you lighten the load. Spend a few minutes each day getting to know your students personally. Establish clear communication with the families. Seek out like-minded colleagues. I mean, this is stuff that will change our mindset daily. Another thing, adjust and simplify. Adjust and simplify. Why does it work? When resources and time is scarce, focusing on essentials prevents overwhelmed, overwhelmed, and ensures meaningful learning in the classroom. Prioritize core learning objectives. Align activities to fit with the material that you have. You say, I don't have everything I need. What material do you have? Okay, let's work on a lesson with that material. That I have place value discs. They're talking about tens and ones, but I have place value discs. We're going to make that work. That's what we have to do, right? Create multi-use tools. Like I just said, sometimes you might have some templates that you could just write over everything. That's what I do when I do my long vowel sounds. I use the same template to do long A, long E, long I. I use the same template, then I just go plug in the letters. That's what I do. I have A consonant E, so when I get to that, it's E consonant E, I consonant I, U consonant, all that. I use the same template, right? Another, anchor yourself in gratitude. I said that. I can't say that enough because I keep forgetting. I don't know about you, but I forget. I tend to forget it's like, I used to feel like I couldn't talk to people. I said, I even can't talk to people because I get upset and then things go left. You can't. You got to anchor yourself in gratitude. So no matter who you're going to talk to, who you're with, who you're around, you still have the same talk. The Bible talks about that somewhere. I can't think of what it's called. So you know how to answer. If you always are in gratitude and thankfulness, then you'll know how to answer because that's who you are, right? It works. It works because gratitude helps shift the focus from obstacles to blessings, and improving our mental health. It just does. And our perspectives. It just does. Keep a journal, gratitude journal. Write down positive things. How about you write down one positive thing about your teaching day every single day, right? Share moments of joy with a trusted colleague or a mentor, right? Say, this is what happened today. I feel so good about that. Start and end your day with prayer, meditating about, what's going well. That's that. I don't know about you. Just thinking about that right now is making my day. Differentiate and celebrate wins. Why it works? Students come with different abilities and challenges. Taylor teaching can help you reach each learner while celebrating growth. Builds confidence. They're building their confidence while you're working with them individually. Period. When I know, I always said last year, they have to have some wins. They have to have some wins, right? Get them together, small group, have some wins. Sometimes you have to work one-on-one. If you have to do that, do it. Just break lessons into smaller, more manageable steps for struggling students. Incorporate visuals, hands-on activities, group work. I had these students, I gave them what to do, and I said, you four work together because they were a higher group. You could work together, make sure they had find that if something was a complete sentence or a fraction of a sentence. And they had to understand that. So work together. And then when you get finished, you're going to read. Two people read together. Do that. And the last, number 5, replenish yourself spiritually and emotionally. You have to. I don't care who you are. You could say, I don't believe this, but you still have to replenish yourself spiritually and emotionally. Why does it work? Because refueling your spirit enables you to serve with energy and joy, even in tough seasons. You'll know how to behave. You'll want to behave well. You'll be happy to behave well, right? Dedicate a few moments each day to prayer and reading scripture, focusing on promises of strength and perseverance. Take regular breaks during prep time to breathe, stretch, and reflect. I know that stretching does something. Right now, I feel I need to stretch because I'm thinking about it. That's like I'll keep going back to that, right? Playing something enjoyable after work. You don't have to do it every day, but something enjoyable. If you like to play games, do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. So I say a daily practice. Wait, I'm not even. I'm trying to find an action step for you. I have action steps. I gave you action steps. Write journal, stretch, practice spirituality, emotional things for your emotional well-being. Get with a colleague. What I have to say right to thrive, educators need to prioritize self-care, lean into your faith, build supportive networks, and uplift and encourage each other. Thriving is about more than enduring each day or the day. It's about showing up the best version of yourself, not just for your students, but for your own joy and fulfillment in the calling of your teaching. What is thriving for? It helps you enjoy your life. It helps you enjoy your life. Don't just survive, but thrive. I want to thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. This is fun. I appreciate you letting me speak into you, speak life into you, speak life into me, because everything I'm saying is for me right now at this very moment. I mean, that's how I come up with the stuff. How do you make it? How do you thrive? We all want to thrive. We see people thriving. We want to do it. We want to live like that. We want to walk in happiness and joy, right? I know people always say happiness means something happened. No, I don't care if that's true or not. I don't know. I want to be happy. I want to thrive. I want to have joy. I want to have passion for my work. Come on, there are ways to do it, ways to get there. If you're walking in your calling, that's number one. Just know that. So, again, let me see. That I want that on there, but I don't want this on there. Okay, so I want to remember to like, share, subscribe. When I say share, I mean share with a teacher. We all know some teachers. We all know some teachers. Share with some teachers. Share with some administrators, some principals, some counselors, some representatives of teachers, whatever it is. Share. That's what we want to be. We are here to empower teachers to inspire, lead, and thrive. That is so perfect. You don't know how perfect that is. I say that every week. And that is so perfect because that's what we're here to do. Offer biblical strategies for effective teaching. Remember again to like, share, subscribe. I can be found on any podcast platform, your favorite podcast platform, Apple, Amazon, Spotify. There's a bunch. We are there. Go to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. You can find us. And we also have a new teachers group. Facebook private group is called Empowered Educators with Ronette Branham. We want to build that up. We want to share ideas through that. So again, thank you and have an enjoyable rest of your day.